Good morning and welcome to Sunup Conversations. I'm glad you're here. What if one of the best things you could do for your community also turned out to be one of the best things you could do for yourself? You know, one of the most powerful ways to improve your own life is to spend more time helping someone else. It sounds backward at first. Most people think volunteering or public service is all about sacrifice, giving your time, giving your effort, giving your energy, giving your money. But here's the surprising truth. Serving others often gives back more than it costs. And that's what we're talking about this morning on Sunup Conversations. Stay with me. Welcome back. You know, public service and volunteering are some of the most meaningful ways we can invest in our communities. When people step up to serve, good things happen. Neighborhoods become stronger, local organizations thrive, people who might otherwise struggle receive help, encouragement, and support. Service happens in various forms though. Some people volunteer at food banks or shelters. Some mentor young people through schools, churches, or youth programs. Others, they serve their communities through local government, civic groups, or nonprofit organizations. You know, every one of these efforts makes a real difference. Sometimes the impact is immediate, like a meal for someone who is hungry. Other times the impact lasts for years, like a young person who receives guidance, encouragement, and a positive role model. You know, when people volunteer their time and talents, communities become healthier and more connected. Local charities are able to serve more people. Schools and youth organizations gain mentors and support. Community projects, from park cleanups to neighborhood improvements, actually get done. But something else happens. People start to feel like they belong to something bigger than themselves. They become invested. Communities work best when people don't just live in the same place, but when they actually care for one another. And service is one of the best ways to build that kind of community. But here's something many people don't realize. Volunteering doesn't just help the community. It helps the person doing the serving as well. Studies have shown that people who volunteer regularly often experience lower stress, improved mood, and a greater sense of purpose. You know, helping others can trigger the release of positive chemicals in the brain, things like dopamine and oxytocin, which help us feel happier and more connected. In simple terms, serving others feels good because it's actually good for us. People who volunteer also tend to build stronger friendships and social connections, and many find that serving others gives them a renewed appreciation for the blessings in their own lives. So, what are some opportunities we have to serve? Well, the good news is that opportunities to serve are everywhere. You might volunteer at a local food pantry. You might help with community cleanup projects. You might mentor a young person who just needs someone to encourage them. How about serve through your church, civic organizations, or local nonprofits? You know, even simple acts of kindness, checking on a neighbor, helping someone carry groceries, or offering encouragement can make a meaningful difference. Service doesn't have to be big to be significant, though. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can have the biggest impact. You know, if you've ever thought about volunteering or serving your community, consider this your encouragement to take that first step. You might think you're just giving your time, but what you'll likely discover is that you're gaining something far greater. You're gaining purpose, you're gaining connection, and you're gaining the deep satisfaction that comes from making someone else's life a little better. And that's a reward that never loses its value. If this video has encouraged you, please like and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And if you know someone who could use a positive start to their day, share this video so more people can be encouraged. Until next time, remember, a better community starts with people who are willing to serve. Now, let me leave you with this one last thought. A stronger community doesn't happen by accident. It happens when ordinary people like us decide to serve. Have a great day. Have a great week. Take care.